So without loading the data into Snowflake, so I'm trying to looking for the data which is available in AWS S3 bucket directly. Okay, now I can able to view the data. So total 50 rows available. So this I'm not loading the data from AWS to Snowflake. So before loading the data, I'm verifying it. So how the data it will be, look and feel of the data. Okay. So after that, I'm creating a table called AWS underscore EMP01. Okay. So this is the main table. So the data is available in my ext stage. From my ext stage, I'm loading the data into Snowflake database table name called AWS. So copy into is the command. So this copy command, what it will do is it will load the file from external or internal staging area into Snowflake database table. Okay. So demo DB is the database name and public is the schema name. AWS underscore EMP01 is the table name. Okay. So here from this is the external staging area and I'm indicating the files. File name is emp-01.csv. So only one file I'm loading. Okay, I'm executing this copy command. So this copy command, once you execute the copy command, it will show you the file path. This is S3 bucket location path. So this is the bucket name and this is the folder. Inside this folder, there is the file. Okay. So the complete file path you will get it and the status it is showing loaded. Even if one record failed, then it will get updated as partially loaded. So the total number of rows is 50. The total number of rows will be 50, which is passed. Okay. So now if I write a select query, select star from AWS underscore EMP01, then we can see the list of records. Okay. So here the thing is how we will load the data from external staging area into Snowflake is, remember the steps. The first point is create the integration object. So while creating an integration object, we have to give AWS role name and bucket path. Okay. So by executing describe integration object, Snowflake will provide a few of the parameters. Okay. So the important parameters is storage AWS IAM user ARN and storage external ID. Copy these two roles and log into AWS and search for IAM in the search criteria. And go to the roles. Select our role and click on edit trust relationship tab. Then click on edit trust relationship. Here we have to paste storage AWS IAM user ARN value and storage external ID value. So once you go here and click on update trust policy, then only Snowflake and AWS can talk to each other in a secure manner. After that, we'll create a file format and we'll create a external staging area. If you want to view the data, we can view the data directly from AWS S3 bucket. Okay. Then we have to create main table in Snowflake. With the help of copy into command, we will load the data from external staging area into Snowflake database table. Okay, this is how we have to explain the steps, guys. Okay. Here, and one more interview question is, how can I check the number of records available in the external staging area before loading into Snowflake database? Check number of records directly from AWS S3 bucket. Select count star from, this is my external staging area. Okay, so you will get 50 records. Total count, you will get it. Okay, so one more interview question here is, if I look for the number of records available in external staging area or in Snowflake database table, for that Snowflake will charge for that? No, Snowflake will not charge any amount for this. And one more point here is, it is not required any sizes, virtual warehouse sizes. It is not required. It just look for the number of records. Okay, so for this also Snowflake will not charge anything. Okay, so if I go to the history, so from here, from this table, you won't get the Snowflake will not charge anything, and here also Snowflake will not charge anything from the external staging area if you want to look for the number of records. Okay, clear? So now we'll so far we handled only CSV file format, right? So let's see for JSON files. AWS with the JSON file.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, please.
Actually, yesterday I executed that queries. I got the data also in that Snowflake account. After that, again I executed same query. It's getting insufficient credentials.
Insufficient credentials.
Yes. First time I got the data from AWS to this database. So after that, I observed in that integration description is there. No? That external ID keep on changing.
Yes, it will change. I told you, no, yesterday.
Okay. So when
So if you re-execute it, I'll show you. AWS 3 underscore JSON. So if I execute, okay, I'm not selecting the database. I'll show you practically. Okay, so this is a new integration object. So I'm creating insufficient
Change that.
privileges. Okay. Okay, so I'm creating an integration object, right?
Yes.
So once I created integration object, if I execute describe integration object, so storage external AWS external ID will get changed. Okay, so if I go to here, if I click on edit trust, so this got it seems same only.
No, the name you are not changed. There.
Storage external
No,
ID only I took.
that JSON S3 JSON you given that S3 object.
No, it doesn't matter for storage location. If I recreate it, it will keep get change external ID. So this is a free tail account, right? So in the real time you won't get change. But here the external ID, how many times you will get changed, that many times it will change the external ID. It seems same only, okay. Okay, let me see it. Yeah, so which error you are facing?
When loading time.
Loading time. Can you elaborate the exact issue?
Actually, first I created the object integration object. After that, I got this external and ARN ID. So those ID kept in that. I mean, external ID kept in that role in that role time. So after there I updated that roles. Then executed that next step.
Mm-hmm.
So I created that external stage area. There I got the data. So I copied the data into a Snowflake account. So in that time I got the data. Again I execute same query. So in that time it's getting error. So
Which
to
error?
insufficient credentials. Today,
Insufficient credentials.
yes.
And access denied something.
Access.
Also, you got it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Mm.
maybe you may missed an AWS policy. So the star symbol you may missed it.
Okay.
So you can re-verify it.
Okay.
So once you create the policy, you cannot change it so that it will not appear it. So what you can do is you can ignore the policy name. You can try to create a new policy.
Okay. Okay. Today I will try.
Yeah, you try it. You remove this
Okay.
bucket name, and here also bucket name, and only specify the bucket name only here.
Okay.
And here you can keep it as it is, forward slash and star.
Okay.
Okay, then it will allow. So if you miss the star, then sometimes will work, sometimes it won't work as well.
Okay. Today I will try.
Yeah, so this star indicating forward slash indicating means, so here the action we are giving reading and loading permission. Okay, this is the bucket. Inside this bucket, how many folders, how many files you are trying to getting loading, that all files will get identified by adding star. If you are not adding star, if you missed it, system will not recognize it, which folder, which file it has to consider. So that's time the access may deny. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take separate folder for JSON. Okay, this is the bucket. So here I'm creating a separate folder for JSON file. Folder name is I'm keeping JSON, and I'm creating a folder, and inside this folder I'm uploading file. Click on add files. This MP JSON file, yes. Okay, 3 files I'm loading. So at a time you can load a number of files also. There is no restriction here. So now I'm copying S3 URI. So here I'm pasting. So now it indicate JSON file folder. Okay, I'm cross verifying AWS external ID, which is configured in roles level. Update trust policy. Then we will create an integration object. Integration object is created. External ID also configured. Then what we will do is we will create a file format. Create or replace file format, my JSON file, and I'm just specifying type equal to JSON. Okay. Then I'll create the external staging area. Okay, let me execute this step. File format is created. Then now we have to create the external staging area. Okay, I'll copy from here. So here I'm changing S3 location path. And the object name is S3 underscore JSON. And the file name is my JSON file. Okay, the file get loaded. External staging area is created successfully. So now the CSV file is it will be a table format. So it's a combination of columns and rows. So CSV file we can load directly into Snowflake database table. But JSON and barcode file formats, we cannot load a complete file into Snowflake database tables. Okay. So the reason how the look and feel of the data is, I'll show you before loading the data into Snowflake, how the data it looks like. Okay, $1 email address. So I think JSON files we can see, I guess. Yeah, the column name is email address and the employee code. Next column is first name, job title, last name, phone number, column, region, and user ID. Okay. Database name dot schema name dot my ext stage. Assuming AWS role, please verify the role and external ID.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, there S3 JSON created, na integration S3 object created.
yeah, got it. I missed here. So that is the reason I'm not getting the proper external ID, why it is not changing. Let me recreate the integration object. Does not exist. Okay, so this is how the look and feel of the data it will be. So this data, this format, it is a tabular format. Okay, you heard right? Tableau is a kind of reporting and dashboarding tools. Okay, so this data will not be directly loaded into Snowflake. This format is completely different. Okay, so for that what we have to do is we will create one table in Snowflake with a single column and data type. Okay, so we'll create or replace table user data underscore JSON. I'm giving the table name called user data underscore JSON, and I'm specifying raw data type is variant. So this data type variant is, it will inject the semi-structured data into structured data. So JSON and Parquet, AVR Pro and XML files, these files are semi-structured data files. Okay, so only structured data files we can load directly into Snowflake, but semi-structured data files we cannot load directly. So we have to create one column with data type is variant. Okay, so now it is created. So now we have to create, now we have to load this data into this table. So the file is available in external staging area, right? So from here we will load into the table. Table name is user data underscore JSON with the help of copy into command. User data underscore JSON. So these three files get loaded into this table user data underscore JSON table. Okay, so we have loaded three files, right? The three files, the status cities get loaded. Each and every file having three records. So if you look for the data, the look and feel of the data, it will be like this. So each and every file having three records. So we have loaded three files into three, total 9 rows are available. So if you click here, so this is how the look and feel of the data it will be. Okay, the same way it will be get loaded. So this is a JSON. So till here this is one record and it is separating by comma. This is second record and separated by comma, and this is third record. So if you keep comma here, then it will be expecting another record. Okay, so this is not manually given by the user. So if any kind of report is there, data is available like Excel, CSV format, if you want to convert this file format from CSV to JSON or Parquet or XML, whatever it is, there are some dedicated tools. So with the help of those tools, it will convert the file. Okay, so this is not a manual activity. Okay, so here you may get a doubt here. For CSV files, we are specifying indicating $1, $2, $3. But why we are specifying here only $1 only? Because the format is different. So the JSON file format, it will consider as a single column only, irrespective of how many records are there, it doesn't matter. But if the file is, if the JSON file having some 1 lakh records, okay, this 1 lakh records will consider as a single column data only. Okay, that's why we are treating as a single column and specifying the column name. Okay, so here if I missed any upper letter, so what will happen is the complete column will become as a null. Okay, so here especially for JSON and Parquet file formats, the column name is either uppercase or lowercase. It should be maintained accordingly. Column name should be exact. Otherwise, the complete column will treated as null value only, which means system is not recognizing it. It is a case sensitive for JSON files. See, employee code, it completely become null. So whenever you are trying to loading a file, if one or two columns or few of the records, if you observe null, then no problem. But the complete column, it is showing as a null, in the sense we have to verify the data, or we have to verify the column name which you are giving. Okay, ideally the complete column should never be a null value. Either few of the columns, few of the records may be a null value, but it should not be a complete null value filled within a single column or multiple columns. Okay, so now the data is placed in the table called user underscore data. So now we have to create a table. Create or replace. Now we are creating a main table, AWS underscore JSON. My address, I'll make it as string. So for all columns, I took the data type is string. Okay, I have created a table. So now the data is available in this table. So I want to load the data from this table to this table, main table. Okay, so you may treat this table as a temporary table also. Okay, So now what we can do is, with the help of insert into AWS underscore JSON file. Table name, main table name is AWS underscore JSON. Then you can write select. I'm copying here. From this is the table, right? In this table having the data. So from demodb dot schema name dot user data. Okay, now I'm executing this statement. So the number of rows 9 inserted. So now if I look for the data which is available in the table called AWS underscore JSON. Okay, so this is how the data it will be converted from semi-structured data into structured data. Okay, so in the real time, so or in the interview questions, so how you will load or how you can handle JSON and Parquet file formats. So as we discussed, we will create an integration object. Then by executing describe integration object, Snowflake provide few of the parameter lists. So one is storage AWS IAM user ARN and storage external ID. Copy these two roles and log into AWS and go to the roles. Here uh, select the trust relationship tab and click on edit trust relationship. Here you can paste it here and click on update trust policy. Now Snowflake and AWS can talk to each other. Then after that create file format, JSON file format, and create a external staging area. Then after that, so JSON files and Parquet files are semi-structured data. So semi-structured data we cannot load directly into Snowflake tables. So for that reason, we are creating a table with a single column and data type is variant. So this variant, what it will do is it will inject the semi-structured data into Snowflake. Okay, so this table having single column. Okay, so once you create the table, then with the help of copy into command, we will load the data from external staging area into the single table, single column and table. So once the data get loaded, then what we can do is we can create main table, which means the original table, and after that from original table from user data, this is a temporary table, right? So from the data which is loaded into this table, from this table we will load the data into the original table. Okay, so this is how you guys has to explain. So this is a JSON file, the same format for Parquet files also. Okay, any doubts here? Okay, if no doubts, then we'll look for Parquet file formats, how you can handle it. So I'm creating one more folder in a bucket for Parquet. So this is my bucket name. So inside this bucket we're having folder CSV JSON, and I'm creating one more folder called Parquet. Okay, so I'm going inside this Parquet folder and I'm uploading. Okay, and I'm uploading the Parquet file into AWS folder level Parquet. Okay, so now I'm copying S3 bucket path. Okay, so now I'll make it here S3 underscore Parquet. So I'm creating an integration object. Then once we create an integration object by executing by executing describe integration object, Snowflake provide few of the parameters: storage AWS IAM user ARN and storage AWS external ID. So I'm copying external ID. Now I'm searching for IAM in the search criteria. And select the roles. And select the trust relationship tab and click on edit trust relationship. So here we are placing the external ID. So AWS IAM user ARN role, it won't change it, it remains same. Okay, and click on update trust policy. Then I'm creating a file format. The file format name is, I'll make it as Parquet. And here also I'll make it type as a single quotation Parquet is there at PARQUET. File also created. Then in the external staging area, I'm specifying integration object name is S3 underscore Parquet. And path also I'm changing, and I'm changing the file name my Parquet. Now external staging area also created. So now if you want to look for the data directly, the same pattern. But here in Parquet, one drawback in Parquet is we cannot view the Parquet file. So the format is completely non-understandable. If I try to open think we can't able to open it. So this case, what we can do is we have to contact to the consumer for the table structure. Table structure in the sense what is the column names and what data type we have to specify it. Okay. So I have already noted down what are the columns available in the Parquet file. Registration date, and the next column is ID. First name, and last name, and the next column is email, gender column, IP address, next column name is country,